What's up guys, it's Adam FPL again, welcome back to another video on the channel. Obviously with the international break last week, and me not being able to come out with another video because school and sport was keeping me pretty busy, there's been kind of a prolonged break from FPL and the channel in general. Obviously I'm very happy to be back, and this week I'm definitely excited to be giving you guys more tips and showing you my team and showing you guys how to tackle these next few game weeks. So as this week, I'm seeing the vibe that there's more points all across the board, so hopefully you guys are more than happy with your team this week, as these last few weeks have kind of been a struggle with some really weird outcomes. So in this video, I'll be talking about team news and some kind of major injuries that happened over the weekend and over the international break, and also how my team went on last week, and my transfer plans and how it's looking for game week 6. So, as always, make sure to hit that notification bell down below and subscribe and like up the videos. It was always greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So before I get into my FPL team, I just wanted to briefly talk about some of the injury news that happened over this last weekend. So first, I kind of ordered it by card, so as you see below, there's red, yellow, and green, with red being the most severe injury and green being the least severe. So first up we had KDB, so obviously KDB was one of the most popular transfers a couple weeks ago in for Aubameyang, and over the international break against Belgium, it might have been with fatigue, but he got pulled out of the squad and he returned to Manchester. And I guess Pep in his press conference said it was a little more serious than expected, and it's saying that Pep said he might be out a few games. We don't know if that means a few Premier League games or just a few overall games, which include the Champions League ties and whatnot, but he did say that KDB will be out for a little bit of time, so a lot of people transferred him out for Son, for example, this week, and it proved to pay off. With Virgil van Dijk, he played this weekend against Everton, but he only lasted a few minutes into the game. Off of a horrible Pickford challenge, Van Dijk was going for the ball and Pickford went straight for his knee, and Virgil van Dijk ended up walking off the field, but it was worse than it looked originally because Van Dijk tore his ACL, and he looks to be out recovering for a few months. They said from 6 to 8 months. I heard 3 to 4, so it all kind of depends, but Virgil van Dijk has a pretty severe injury now, and it'll be a big loss for Liverpool. Now onto the Leicester boys. So Leicester have been ravaged with injuries, and now with the likes of Soyuncu and Vardy being out, it doesn't help them at all. So with Soyuncu, it was found that he had his muscle torn off the bone, Rogers said, and it looked to be pretty serious. He might be out for about 3 months, with also Wilfred and Ndidi being seriously injured and Pereira just coming back after nearly 7 months out. Leicester looked very unlucky with injuries right now. Vardy is the only green card in this side. Vardy, he's always had some kind of calf problems, and so with him, it's more of just a minor thing, and Rogers said that he'll probably miss out the Europa League tie, but he should be ready for Arsenal in the Premier League match next week that they have. So I got a total of 69 points in Game Week 5, which was 9 points above the average of 60. This is a green arrow, as I'm happy with that, but it is a minor one, as there are a lot of high-scoring teams this week, and mine was certainly not one of them. Hopefully I can continue this green arrow trend and start to improve my rank, and this is where the work really starts to kick in for these next few game weeks. So I'm happy with Martinez in goal with a 9-pointer against Leicester City. So this game was 0-0 for a while, and Ross Barkley eventually won for Aston Villa, but Emi Martinez played another great game, saving shots, and he got the clean sheet en route to a save point and 2 bonus points, so 9 points, and he's just looking like a great keeper right now. I think he's going to be like the new Pope this year. He started at 4.5, and I think he's just going to continue rising as people see the value and take Trent with 1 point. So in the Merseyside derby this week, there was a lot of goals, which is kind of what we expected. We expected either a 0-0 or a goal fest. That's certainly what happened, so I'm upset that Trent didn't get a clean sheet yet again. I think that the points will come eventually, and he's a guy that I kind of want to stay patient with. Now with Charlie Taylor. So Charlie Taylor, for Burnley, they played West Brom. It was the most Burnley game ever. It was a 0-0 draw, and unfortunately Taylor got a yellow card, so it was a -1, but he did get the clean sheet. So, and in this year where there's been almost no clean sheets so far, I'm happy with the point total there. Lamptey with 2 points. Unfortunately, that was close to ending in a 0-0 or even a Brighton win against Crystal Palace, but Lamptey dragged down the batsman Michy Batshuayi, and the refs and VAR deemed it a penalty, and so Zaha scored from the spot, and so it ended up being a 1-0 loss for Brighton. Unfortunate that Lamptey couldn't get the clean sheet there, as Brighton did play pretty well. Now onto my captain, Mohamed Salah. So I captained Salah this week as he's been my reliable captaincy pick. Even though in theory, there were better options like the Spurs boys, for example, against West Ham, but I was lucky that Salah did end up still returning, giving me 14 points. Now with Click, who was kind of my differential pick here, the two-pointer, Leeds played Wolves, and I could only watch the first half, and from what I've seen, Leeds dominated Wolves. They were tireless. Leeds just play such an attacking brand of football. It's kind of risk versus reward, and their passing, they just zip the ball across the field, and they do everything with such purpose and so quickly. I know Bielsa conditions them to their wits' end, so they're always running at their top speed tirelessly throughout the pitch. So Click with a two-pointer here. It is what it is. I don't expect much from him. Kind of happy with that. So with the 2 points, there could have been a possible penalty, and which Click would have taken. So who knows what would have happened there. Wolves got the 1-0 win, so they nicked the clean sheet point off Click, and it is kind of unlucky, but I'm kind of happy with where I am with Click as a different pick than most. They lost it all with that Lanzini banger that tied it up, and West Ham were very happy, obviously. So obviously, I'm glad with Son as he was my transfer in this week for Kevin De Bruyne, getting 13 points. He got a goal and assist very quickly, and him and Kane look to be probably one of the most potent attacking duos in the world right now. Probably could have captained Son as he did have the fixture in the form, but I decided just to keep going with Salah, and he did return, so it's not the worst. But I'm just happy to get the Son points. So with Barnes is probably looking like a transfer out. Honestly, I don't really recommend any Leicester assets right now. Leicester just have a ton of injuries and don't look very good. They haven't scored in about 2 games, I think, so wouldn't be hopping on Leicester assets. And Barnes didn't really look the part, so. Now for my front line, and honestly, this was the best week that they've had all season. Each of them returning. So with Ings got 7 points. Southampton played Chelsea. It was a 3-3 draw. In the end, Southampton got kind of lucky, but they kind of deserved it at the same time because Chelsea controlled the game, and then they kind of fell apart again due to their calamitous defending. So not happy with the result as a Chelsea fan, but happy that Ings returned. With Jimenez got the only goal against Leeds, and this is what he does. He never is the one that's explosive. He'll always just be consistent, take along. So hopefully he can kind of get back on form as he was kind of a non-factor these past 2 games. Happy with his 8 points. Calvert-Lewin, the guy who's on amazing form this season, scored again in the Merseyside derby. He has yet to blank this season and looks to be a keeper for a long time. So now into my team and transfer thoughts for Game Week 6. So Martinez gets a nod in net again. He's probably going to be the season keeper for a while. He's going against Leeds, but Aston Villa's defense looked great, so no brainer there. Trent Alexander-Arnold at home against Sheffield United, so Sheffield have looked horrible. It's a great fixture at home. Hopefully Trent can get a clean sheet and some kind of attacking return, as he's yet to get that big point haul yet this season. Saïs against Newcastle, so Wolves looked pretty good defensively, I guess, against a high-octane team in Leeds. So hopefully Saïs and Wolves can keep a clean sheet there. Lamptey against West Brom, another great fixture for the attacking Lamptey and Brighton at home. Hopefully Lamptey can get some kind of returns there. Salah at captain probably. It's between Salah and Son, but Salah gets a nod for now. Salah is at home at Anfield, and he's playing a bottom 6 team. What more could you want? Click against Aston Villa. Just kind of have to keep him there. Hopefully he can take along and provide me some differential points sometime along the road. Leeds and Aston Villa, that should be a good game as they're 2 up-and-coming teams this season. Son in the high-scoring Spurs team right now in great form against Burnley, who's an interesting team. Obviously, they kept a clean sheet against West Brom, but that was West Brom. So it'll be interesting to see what Spurs do here against Burnley. Still is a great captaincy option, and I'm going to be wavering between him and Salah the entire week. Barnes against Arsenal could be a potential transfer out here. Leicester haven't looked good in the past few games, and Barnes hasn't really been that threatening, but I just kind of have to keep him for now, and we'll try to get him out eventually. Hopefully he can provide something against Arsenal, who's not very sound defensively. As of right now, the front line is the same this week as last week in Game Week 5. So Jimenez and Calvert-Lewin both have good fixtures against Newcastle and Southampton respectively. I'm hoping if I keep them that they get some returns there, especially with Calvert-Lewin against Southampton's high line. And Newcastle is just Newcastle, so Ings against Everton, it could be a potentially high-scoring game with Everton and their high-flying offense. And Southampton are just kind of a resilient team, and Ings will always punish opponents when he gets that one good chance as he's so clinical. As for my transfers for next week, I'm definitely not looking to take a hit as I'm looking to avoid those a lot more this season, but my 2 likely transfers out would be Jimenez and Barnes at the moment. Jimenez did score today, as was kind of, I guess, expected after a few games where he didn't look the part, but he still kind of looks like a non-factor as Wolves kind of look a little off so far.
than last year, and I'm looking to get in Kane from Spurs, who is looking like an amazing striker this year for Tottenham. Him and Son are combining super well, and you guys have probably seen a lot of the stats on Kane and how much he's improved from last year. With my other transfer, I'm looking at getting rid of Harvey Barnes. Like I said in the previous part of the video, Leicester don't really look the part right now, and that includes Barnes. With their ravaging amount of injuries, I'm not looking forward to any Leicester assets, and I kind of want to get rid of Barnes. And there's a lot of choices I actually have, which is kind of what I'm contemplating. So, among others, there's Grealish, there's Sterling, there's James Rodriguez, and there's Pulisic. So, looking to be getting some of those players in, or at least one of those players in the near future.
That's going to wrap up this Game Week 6 FPL video. Make sure to comment down below if you have any thoughts about my team and my transfer thoughts, or if you have any questions to me, I'll gladly answer and reply in the comments. Also, hit that subscribe button, as it's greatly appreciated. I'm going to continue coming out with weekly videos, and hit that like button, as it is also greatly appreciated. Also, follow me on Twitter at AdamFPL, because that's where I'll be posting my updated teams if I could potentially don't have time to make a video, as that's what I did last week. So, as always, again, good luck next game week, and it's Adam FPL, and I'll see you in the next video.